Sham Sharadava Nalalidaloka Tranaya Karuna Gana Ganatam Sham Sharadava Nalalidaloka Tranaya Karuna Gana Ganatam Praptasya Kalyana Gunanavasya Vande Gura Shri Charanaravrindam Praptasya Kalyana Gunanavasya Vande Gura Shri Charanaravrindam Vande Gura Shri Charanaravrindam Vande Gura Shri Charanaravrindam Charanaravrindam Vande Gura Shri Charanaravrindam Mahaprabhu ki Tananita Gita Vaditra Madhyam Manasura Sena Mahaprabhu Kirtana Nitya Gita Vaditra Madhyam Manasura Sena Romanchakam Pasru Taranga Bhajo Vande Gura Shri Charanaravrindam Romanchakam Pasru Taranga Bhajo Vande Gura Shri Charanaravrindam Shri Vigrahara Dana Nityanana Shringaratannama Niramarjanado Shri Vigrahara Dana Nityanana Shringaratannama Chuktasya Bhaktamsa Niyunjatapi Vande Gura Shri Charanaravrindam Chuktasya Bhaktamsa Niyunjatapi Vande Gura Shri Charanaravrindam Chaturvidha Shri Bhagavat Prasada Satana Triptan Hari Bhakta Sangha Chaturvidha Shri Bhagavat Prasada Satana Triptan Hari Bhakta Sangha Kritvaiva Tripte Bhajata Shadeva Vande Gura Shri Charanaravrindam Kritvaiva Tripte Bhajata Shadeva Vande Gura Shri Charanaravrindam Shri Radhikama Gabayara Para Madhura Lila Gunarupa Namna Shri Radhikama Gabayara Para Madhura Lila Gunarupa Namna Pratikshana Swa Dhanalalupasya Vande Gura Shri Charanaravrindam Pratikshana Swa Dhanalalupasya Vande Gura Shri Charanaravrindam Nekunja Yono Ratikeri Siddhai Jajali Bhir Juktir Apekshaniya Nikunja Yona Ratikeri Siddhai Jajali Bhir Juktir Apekshaniya Tatra Tidaksha Ativalavasya Vande Guru Shri Charanara Vrindam Tratirakhya Ativaravasya Andivarasi Charanara Sakshat Haritena Shamasta Shastre Ruktastatha Bhavyataiva Sadhavi Sakyadharitena Shamasta Shastre Ruktastatha Bhavyataiva Kintu Prabhorja Priya Eva Tasya Bande Guru Shri Charanara Vrindam Kintu Prabhu Priya Eva Tasya Bande Guru Shri Charanara Yasya Prasada Bhagavat Prasado Yasya Prasadam Nagati Kutapi Yasya Prasadam Bhagavat Prasado Yasya Prasadam Nagati Kutapi Dayam Stubam Tasya Yasatrin Sandhyam Bande Guru Shri Charanara Vrindam Dhyayam Stubam Tasya Yasatrin Sandhyam Bande Guru Shri Charanara Vrindam Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravane Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunavadi Pachatade Shatarine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravane Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunavadi Pachatade Shatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Nama Krishna Jadavaye Nama, Hare Nama Krishna Jadavaye Nama, Jadavaye Madhavaye Kesavaye Nama, Jadavaye Madhavaye Kesavaye, Gopal Govindaram Shri Madhusudan, Gopal Govindaram Shri Madhusudan, Giridhari Gopinath Madana Mohan, Giridhari Gopinath, Shri Chaitanya Nityananda Shri Advaita Sita, Hari Guru Vaishnava Bhagavata Gita, Hari Guru Vaishnava Bhagavata Gita, Shri Rupa Sanatan Bhattaraguna, Shri Rupa Sanatan Bhattaraguna, Shri Jiva Gopala Bhatta Dasaraguna, Shri Jiva Gopala Bhatta Dasaraguna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Shri Shri Radha Nila Madhav, Radha Nila Madhav, Radhe. Jaya Jagannath, Jaya Baladeva, Jaya Subhadrama, Jaya Sudarshan Chakra, Jaya Subhadrama, Jaya Sitaram, 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 Jaya Lakshman Hanuman, Sitaram, 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 Taigora Haribo, 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 Nitai Gaur Haribo, Nitai Gaur Haribo, 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 Nitai Gaur Premanande, Jayam Vishapara Param Sapravarjagracharya, Stottara Sarashima, Iskon Pratishtha Bhiviti Samstapakacharya Vaishnav Siramani Gaur Priyajana, Krishna Prima Bhakti Datta Patit Pavana, अभोचरविंद भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी महाराज श्री प्रभुपाद जी की जय। श्री गौर्य गुरु वर्गापति उद्धार की जय। श्री रूप सनातन भक्त रघुनाथ श्री जीव गोपाल भक्त दास गुणसत गोस्वामी प्रभु की जय। नामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर जी की जय। जयनंत कुछ वैष्णविंद की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्रीद्वैत गदाधर शिवासरि गौर भक्तविंद की जय। जय परम दयाल श्री नित्यानंद प्रभु की जय। प्रेम नाम संकीर्तन एक जनक प्रेम पुरुषोत्तम श्री सच्चिदानंद श्रीमद् गुरु चैतन्य महाप्रभु गौर हरि महावरण अवतार की जय। गोलोकीरा प्रमधान हरि नाम संकीर्तन जय की जय। जुग धर्म हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र की जय। बृहद मृदंग ट्वेंटी बुक डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन सेवा की जय। शिशु राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपना राधा कुंद श्याम कुंज गिरिराज गोवर्धन की जय। श्री ब्रज भूमि वृंदावन मथुरा धाम की जय। तेलोश शिष्य नीलमाधाव की जय। श्री श्री मायापुर नवद्वीप एक चक्रधाम की जय। परम करुण शिष्य गौर निताय की जय। श्री पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय। श्री श्री जगन्नाथ स्वामी बलदेव प्रभु सुभद्रा देवी सुदर्शन चक्र भगवान की जय। भक्ति सर्व विघ्न विनाशन कर्ण सिंगरे भगवान की जय। जय गंगा माय जमुना माय की जय। तुलसी महारानी वृंद देवी भक्ति देवी की जय। श्री मथुरा रानी की जय। समवेत भक्तवृंद की जय। निताय गौर प्रमानंदे हरि बोल। All glories to the assembly bodies. All glories to the assembly bodies. All glories to the assembly bodies. All glories, all glories, all glories to Shri Shri Guru Shri Gauranga.
नरसिंहाया प्रहलाद लाद दायिने शिलाटंका हिरण्यकाशी पूर्वसा शिलाटंका नखालाए
Silatanka nakalai
ito नरसिम्हा परतो नरसिम्हा
ito nisinga parato nisinga
नरसिम्हा
ito
तो
yato
यतो यतो यामि ततो नरसिम्हा
jato jato jami tato nisinga
बाहे नरसिम्हा हृदय नरसिम्हा
Bahir nisinga hridaye nisinga
बाहे नरसिम्हा हृदय नरसिम्हा
Bahir nisinga hridaye nisinga
नरसिम्हा मदिं शरणं पर्पदे
Narasinga madhi Sharanam prapade
नरसिम्हा मदिं शरणं पर्पदे
Narasinga madhi Sharanam prapade
तव कर कमल वरे नाकाम अद्भुत सिंहा दलिता हिरण्यकशिपु तनुभृङ्गा केशवधीरता नरहरिरूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे
तव कर कमल बरे नाकं अद्भुत श्रृंगार दलिता हिरण्यकशिपु तनुभृङ्गा केशवधृत नरहरि रूप जय जगदीश रे जय जगदीश रे जय जगदीश रे
केशवधीरता नरहरि रूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे
केशवधृत नरहरि रूप जय जगदीश रे जय जगदीश रे जय जगदीश रे
जयो लक्ष्मी नरसिंह जयो लक्ष्मी नरसिंह जयो लक्ष्मी नरसिंह जयो लक्ष्मी नरसिंह
जय लक्ष्मी नरसिंह जय लक्ष्मी नरसिंह जय लक्ष्मी नरसिंह जय लक्ष्मी नरसिंह
जयो भक्त प्रहलाद भक्त प्रहलाद भक्त प्रहलाद जयो भक्त प्रहलाद
जय भक्त प्रहलाद जय भक्त प्रहलाद जय भक्त
जयो जयो प्रभुपाद 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 जयो जयो प्रभुपाद
जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद
जयो जयो गुरुदेव 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 जयो जयो गुरुदेव
जय जय गुरुदेव 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 जय जय गुरुदेव
जय लक्ष्मी नरसिंह भगवान की प्रहलाद महाराज की
जय श्री वृंदाई तुलसी देव्याय प्रियाय केशव सत्य विष्णु भक्ति प्रारे देवी शतवताय नमो नमः वृंदाई तुलसी देव्याय प्रियाय केशव सत्य विष्णु भक्ति प्रारे देवी वृंदाई तुलसी देव्याय प्रियाय केशव सत्य विष्णु भक्ति प्रारे देवी सत्यवताय नमः वृंदाय तुलसी देवाय प्रियाय केशव सत्य विष्णु भक्ति प्रारे देवी सत्यवताय जय श्रीमती तुलसी महारानी वृंदा देवी की जय। Tulsi? Can we leave Tulsi, Kirtan? You know? You should. If you can, don't worry.
No, you can go ahead.
Okay, thank you. What are the Mataji's? Can anybody sing Tulsi? Not sure? Okay. Yeah? You willing? Okay. Namo Namaha Tulasi Krishna Priyasi Namo Namaha Tulasi Krishna Preyasi Namo Namaha Tulasi Krishna Preyasi Namo Namaha Tulasi Krishna Preyasi Radha Krishna Seva Pava Eya Vilasi Radha Radha Krishna Seva Pava Eya Vilasi Je tomar sharanala tara vancha puna kripa kori kara tare Vrindavanavasi Tumi kripa kori karatare Vrindavanavasi Kripa kori karatare Vrindavanava Namo Namaha Moraiya Vila Vilas Kunje Diyava Nayane Heribo Sada Jugala Ruparasi Amin E Nivedanadhara Sakirano Koro Sevayadi Koro Diye Koro Nijadasi Dina Krishna Dase Koi Enamorao Shri Radha Govinda Preme Sadai Navasi Shri Radha Govinda Preme Sadai Navasi Tulasi Krishna Preyasi Namo Namo Tulasi Krishna Preyasi Yani Kanisha Papani Brahmatari Kanisha Tani Tani Pranasanti Pradakshina Prade Prade Janika Nisha Papani Brahma Tarika Nisha Tani Tani Prana Santi Pradakshina Pade Pade Yanika Nisha Papani Brahma Tarika Nisha Tani Tani Prana Santi Pradakshina Pade Pade Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Tulsi Maharani Brinda Devi Jaya Tulsi Maharani Jaya Brinda Devi Nitai Gora Haribo 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 Nitai Gora Haribo Shrimati Tulsi Maharani Brinda Devi ki jai. Shri Brindai Tulasi Devi Priyayai Kesava Satya Vishnu Bhakti Prade Devi Satavatai Namo Namah. Brindayai Tulasi Devi Priyayai Kesava Satya Vishnu Bhakti Prade Devi Satavatai Namo Namah. Brindaye Tulasi Devi Priyayai Kesava Satya Vishnu Bhakti Prade Devi Satavatai Namo Namah. Jai Shrimati Tulasi Maharani Brinda Devi ki. O Tulasi, beloved Krishna, I bow before you again and again. My desire is to obtain the service of Shishi Radha and Krishna. Whoever takes shelter of you has wishes fulfilled. Bestow your mercy upon him, you make him resident of Vrindavana. My desire is that you also grant me a residence in pleasure groves of Shri Vrindavan Dham. Thus within my vision, I will always behold the beautiful pastimes of Radha and Krishna. I beg you to make me a follower carried dames of Raj. Please give me the privilege of devotional service and make me your own maid servant. This very fallen and lowly servant Krishna praise. May I always sing in love of Shri Radha and Govind. Srimati Tulsi Maharani Vrindadevi ki jai. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Shiksastakam ki jai. Cheto Dattanamadjanam Pavamadavanam Shri Akari Vachandrika Vitaranam Vidyavadu Jivanam Ananda Mudivardhanam Padipadam Purnamrita Shradanam Sarvatmasnam Param Param Vijayati Shri Krishna Sankirtanam Nam Nam Akari Vudam Isa Sarva Shaktis Tatra Pitayamita Smarane Kala Sada Vishitava Mayam Bhavanamati Dukdaivam Idrisham Yajani Nanuragaha Trinadapi Sunichena Tarorapi Saishnuna Amanina Manadena Kirtaniya Sadari Adhanam Najanam Nasundari Kavitam Vajagari Shakalamaye Mama Janmane Janmaneshwari Bhavata Bhakti Raitu Kitvayi Ainanda Tanuja Kinkaram Paritama Vishame Bhava Buddho Kripaya Tava Pada Pankaja Sitaduli Sadrisham Vichintaya Nayanam Galarashrudharaya Bhadanam Gadagada Rudaya Gira Pulakai Nichitam Vapu Kada Tavanama Gahane Bhavisyati Juga Itam Nimishena Chakusha Pravrusa Itam Shunya Itam Jagata Sarvam Govinda Virahiname Aslishavapadaratam Pinashtumam Adarshnar Marmahatam Karotuva Jata Tathava Vidadhatulam Pato Matpranatastu Saivana Para Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Shri Krishtakam Ki Jai Namo Mahavarannaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namine Gaura Krishna Namaha. Glory to the Shri Krishna Sankirtana, which cleanses the heart of the dust accumulated for years and extinguishes the fire of conditional life of repeated birth and death. This Sankirtan moment is the prime benediction for humanity at large, because it spreads the rays of the benediction moon. It is the life of all transcendental knowledge. It increases the ocean of transcendental bliss and enables us to fully taste the nectar for which we're always anxious. O my Lord, your holy name alone can render all benediction to living beings, and thus you have hundreds and millions of names like Krishna and Govind. In these transcendental names, you have invested your transcendental energies. There are not even hard and fast rules for chanting these names. O my Lord, out of kindness, you enable us to easily approach you by your holy names, but I'm so unfortunate I have no attraction for them. One should chant the holy name of the Lord in humble state of mind, thinking oneself lower than straw in the street. One should be more tolerant than a tree, devoid of all sense of false prestige, and should be ready to offer all respect to others. In such state of mind, one can chant the holy name of the Lord constantly. O Almighty Lord, I have no desire to accumulate wealth, nor do I desire beautiful women, nor do I want any number of followers. I only want your cause of devotional service, birth after birth. O son of Maharaj Nanda Krishna, I am your eternal servitor, yet somehow or other I am falling in this ocean of birth and death. Please pick me up from this ocean of death and place me as one of the atoms at the Lord's feet. O my Lord, When will my eyes will be decorated with tears of love, flowing constantly when I chant your holy name? When will my voice choke up, and will the hairs of my body stand on the end of the recitation of your name? Oh Govinda, feeling your separation, I'm considering a moment to be like 12 years or more. Tears are flowing from my eyes like torrents of rain. I'm feeling all vacant in the world in your absence. I know no one but Krishna as my Lord, and he should remain so, even if he handles me rightfully by his embrace, or makes me broken-hearted by not being present before me. He is completely free to do anything and everything, for he is always my worshipful Lord unconditionally. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Shri Krishna Kam Ki Jai. There are 10 offenses in matter of chanting the holy name of the Lord should be avoided. They are as follows. 1. To blaspheme the devotees who dedicate their life for propagating the holy name of the Lord. 2. To consider the names of demigods, the Lord Shiva and Lord Brahma, to be equal to or independent of the name Lord Vishnu. 3. To disobey the orders of the spiritual master. 4. To blaspheme the Vedic literatures or literatures and pursuits of Vedic version. 5. To consider the glories of chanting Hare Krishna to be imagination. 6. To give some interpretation to the holy name of the Lord. 7. To commit sinful activities on strength of chanting the holy name of the Lord. 8. To consider the chanting of Hare Krishna as one of the auspicious ritualistic activities which are often Vedas as fruitive activity, karma kanda. 9. To instruct the faithless person about the glories of the holy name. And 10. To not have complete faith in chanting with the holy names and to maintain material attachments, even after understanding so many instructions on this matter. It also an offense to be inattentive while chanting. Every devotee who claims to be Vaishnava must carefully guard against these 10 offenses in order to quickly achieve the desired success. Krishna Prema. Now let us offer our most humble obeisance unto all the Vaishnavas, devotees of the Lord. They are just like desired trees, they can fulfill the desires of everyone, and they are full of compassion for the fallen, conditioned souls. Vancha kalpatarubhasya kripa sindhu bhyevacha paritanam pavanebhyo vaishnavibhyo namo namaha. Jai Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai. Namo Vishnupadaya. So, Shri Mangala Charan Shri Guru Vandana Ki Jai. Om Magyana Tinirandasya Gyananjana Sarakaya Chachurmilitam Dena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Shri Chaitanya Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dalati Swapadantika Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Jota Parakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Cha Shri Rupam Sagrijatam Sahagana Raghunatha Vintam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitam Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravane Pracharine Nivishesha Sunavadi Pasadari Satarine Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Iti Namine Shri Varshabhana Videvi Deitaya Kripabdaye Krishna Sambandha Vijnana Daine Prabhave Namaha Madhurjo Jvala Premadhya Shri Rupanuga Bhaktida Shri Gaura Karuna Shakti Vigrahaya Namastute Namaste Gauravane Shri Murtaye Dinatarine Rupanuga Viruddhapa Siddhanta Dvantaharine Namah Gurukishoraya Satya Viragya Murtaye Vipralambhara Sambodhe Paramujayate Namaha Namo Bhakti Vinodaya Sakchit Anandanamine Gora Shakti Swarupaya Rupanuga Varayate Gora Virbhava Bhumitsvam Nirdesha Sajana Priya Vaishnava Sarvabhoma Sri Jagannathayate Namaha Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो महावदन्नाय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नामिने गौरत्विषे नमः। पञ्चतत्त्वमकं कृष्ण भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारो भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तिशक्तिकम्। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपीककान्त राधा कान्तो नमोस्तुते। जयतां सुरतुपाङ्गोर्मम मन्दमतिर्गतिर्मत्सर्वस्य पदाम्भोजो राधा मदनमोहनौ। दिव्यरविन्दरण्यकल्पद्रुमधा स्मरनगार सिंहासनस्तु स्म राधा शिलगोविन्ददेवो पृष्ठलिभिः सेव्यमानुस्मरमि। स्मरसरसराम्भि वंश्वात ततस्थिता कर्षवेणुसानैर्गोपीर्गोपीनाथ श्रियेस्तु न। तप्त काञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरि वृषभानुसुतिदेवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। श्री मंगल चरण गुरु प्रणाम की जय। श्री ब्रह्म संगीत। ईश्वर परमा कृष्ण सच्चिद आनंद विग्रह अनादिर आदिर गोविंद सर्वकारण कारणम चिंतामणि प्रकट सद्मसुकल्प वृक्ष लक्ष्याभितेषु शूरभीरविपालयन्तं लक्ष्मी सहस्रशत संभ्रम सेव्यमानं गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि। वेणुं क्वनन्तमरविन्ददयालताख्यं बार्हं बत समसितं बुधसुन्दराङ्गं कन्दार्पकोटिकमनीयविशेषशोभं गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि। आलोलचन्द्रकलसार्वनमल्यवंशि रन्नाङ्गदं प्रणयकेलिकलाविलासं श्यामं त्रिभङ्गललितं नियताप्रकाशं गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि। अङ्गानि यास्य सकलेन्द्रियवृत्तिमन्ति पश्यन्ति पन्ति कलयन्ति चिरं जगन्ति आनन्दचिन्मय सदुज्ज्वल विग्रहस्य गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि। अद्वैतमच्युतम् अनादिम् अनन्तरूपम् आद्यं पुराणपुरुषं नवयौवनं च वेदेषु दुर्लभम् अदुर्लभम् आत्मभक्तो गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि। पन्थस्तु कोटिसहस्रवत्सरसम्प्रगाम्यो वायोरथापि मनसो मुनिपुङ्गवानं सोऽप्यस्ति या प्रपदसिंहविचिन्त्य तत्ते गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि। एकवाप्यसुरजजितुं जगनन्दकोटिं यक्षातिरसि जगनन्दचयजदन्तम् आदान्तरस्तपरमानुचयन्तरस्तं गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि। यद्भावभावितधियो मनुजस्तथैव सम्प्राप्य रूपमहिमासनया नभूष शुक्तिर्य पुरुषं तमहं भजामि। आनन्दचिन्मयरसा प्रतिभाविताभिस्ताभिर्य एव रुचरूपतया कलाभिः गोलोक एव निवस किलात्मभूतो गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि। प्रेमाञ्जनचूरितभक्तिविलोचनेन सन्ता सदैव हृदेषु विलोकयन्ति जं श्यामसुन्दरमचिन्त्य गुणास्वरूपं गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि। रामादिमूर्तिषु कलानियमेन तिष्ठन् नानावतारमकरोद्भुवनेषु किन्तु कृष्ण स्वयं समभवत् परमं पुमन्यो गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं यशा प्रभा प्रभजतु जगनन्दकोटिं कोट्यश्वशेषवसुधारि विभूतिभिन्नं तद्ब्रह्मनिष्कलमनन्तमशेषभूतं गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि। मायाय्याश्च जगनन्दशतानि सूते त्रिगुणतद्विषयभेदवितायमान सर्वालम्बि परसत्त्वं विशुद्धसत्त्वं गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि। आनन्दचिन्मयरसमतया मनस्सु या प्राणिनां प्रतिपलं स्ममुपेत्य Lila yitena bhuvanani jaja jayastram. Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. Golokanam nijadhamni tale satasya. Devi mahesha haridama shute shuteshu. Tete prabhava nichaya vihitas Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. Shriti sthiti pralaya sadhana shakti reka. Chaye vayasya bhuvanani vibharti durga. Icha nurupamapi yasya jasastati sa. Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. Kiram yathadadi vikara vishesha yogat. Sanjayate naitata pitaghasti hetu. Yat sambutam apitata samupaiti karyat. Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. Dipashir eva isha santaramamupetya. Dipayate vivrita hetu samana dharma. Yastadrik eva isha vishnutaya vibhati. Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. Yakarnanan navajale bhajatisma yoga. Nidram ananta jagananda saroma kupa. Adhara shakti mavalambya param swamurtim. Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. Yaswe kani swasita kala atalava ambya. Jivanti loma vilaja jagananda nataha. Vishnur mahan ya yashas kalavishesho. Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. Bashman yatasma sakaleshu nije sateja. Siyam kiyat pratatakacha atpattatatra. Brahma ya esha jagananda vidana karta. Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. Jatpala pala vayugmam vidana kumbha. Dwende pranama samaye jagata diraja. Vignam vihantu mamlayasya jagatrayasya. Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. Agnir mahi gaganambu maruta sajja. Kalas tatarma vinajasti jagatrayasya. Yasmat bhivanti vibhavanti viyanti yamcha. Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. Yakshachu esha savita sakala grahanam. Raja shamasta suramurti mashesha teja. Yashagya brahmati sambrita kalak chakru. Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. Dharmo tapa pranichaya sutayas tapamsi. Brahmadi kita patagada vadaisha jiva. Yadata matra prabhava pakata prabhava. Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. Jatvindra gopam atavindra ahosa karma. Bandha nurupam palabhajana atanoti. Karmadi nirda antikintu chabakti bhajan. Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. Yam kruda kama sahaja pranaya vidviti. Vatsalya moha gura gaurva seva bhave. Chachinta tasya sadrim tamam purete. Govindamadi purusham tamaham. Shriya kanta kanta parama purusha kalpataravo. Dhruma bhumi chinta manigana mahito yamamritam. Katagana matyam gamamam api bamsi priyasaki. Chirananda jyoti paramapi tadvadrasajam yapi. Yajadakshirabibi swaravati swarabibi yasha sumahan. Nirmadakyo vavrajadina hi yastrapi saman. Bajisweta dvipam tam aham iya goloka itimya. Virantastu shanti kiri virala charakati paye. Ishvara parama Krishna sakti ananda vigraha. Anadiradir govinda sarvakarana karanam. Shri Guru Vastakam prayers. The spiritual master is receiving benediction from the ocean of mercy, just as the cloud pours water and forces fire to extinguish it. So the spiritual master delivers the material afflicted world by extinguishing the blazing fire of material existence. Out from our respectful obeisance unto the spiritual master, who is an ocean of auspicious qualities. Chanting the holy name, dancing in ecstasy, singing and playing musical instruments, the spiritual master is also gladdened by the Sankirtan moment of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, because he's relishing the mellows of pure devotion within his mind. Sometimes his hair stands on end, he feels quivering in his body, and tears flow from his eyes like waves. Out from our respectful obeisance to the Lord to such a spiritual master. The spiritual master always engaged in the temple worship of Shri Radha and Krishna. He also engages disciples in such worship. They dress the in beautiful clothes and ornament, clean the temple, and perform other similar worship of the Lord. Out from our respectful obeisance to the Lord to such a spiritual master. The spiritual master is always offering Krishna from kinds of delicious food, analyzed with that which is drunken sacked. When the spiritual master sees that the devotees are satisfied by eating Bhagavad Prasad, he is satisfied. I offer my respectful blessing to the lotus feet of such a spiritual master. This spiritual master is always eager to hear and chant about the unlimited conjugal pastimes of Radhika and Madhav, and their qualities, names, and forms. The spiritual master aspires to relish this at every moment. I offer my respectful blessings to the lotus feet of such a spiritual master. The spiritual master is very dear because he is expert in assisting the gopis who in different times make different tasteful arrangements for the perfection of Radha and Krishna's conjugal loving affairs within the groves of Vrindavan. I offer my most humble blessings to the lotus feet of such a spiritual master. The spiritual master is to be honored as much as the Supreme Lord because he is the most confidential servitor of the Lord. This is acknowledged in all revealed scriptures and followed by all authorities. Therefore, I offer my respectful blessings unto the lotus feet or such a spiritual master who is a bona fide representative of Sri Hari Krishna. By the mercy of the spiritual master, one receives the benediction of Krishna. Without the grace of the spiritual master, one cannot make any advancement. Therefore, I should always remember and praise the spiritual master. At least 3 times a day, I should offer my respectful blessings to the lotus feet or my spiritual master. Jai Shri Guru Vastakam prayers. Ki Jai. Jai Krishna Padaya, Krishna Prashtaya. Bhaktivedanta Swami Nityanamini Namaste Saraswati Deva. Gaurvani Pracharini Ni Vishesha Shunavari Pashatya Desatarini. Jai. So, I think Maharaj has been working very hard, he's resting. So like yesterday, we have to follow the program as it is. So we're going to speak on Bhagavatam, but on the same verse that he spoke last time. We don't want to go ahead, ahead of him. So we're going to study the same verse last time, yesterday. And we're going to speak something, the unlimited things we can say in one verse. It's unlimited, ananta. So we're going to try to read that again and see if we can come up with some points according to the verse and to Srila Prabhupada's amazing purport. So, do my glasses. So, oh. Oh, I have to see this off because I need the text. Please bear with me. So the text is, what today's topic is. We're reading from 3rd Canto, chapter 3. The text again. Text number 10, or verse 10. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So, after the translation of this, O my Lord, Shri Krishna, son of Vasudeva, O all-pervading personality of Godhead, I offer my respectful obeisances unto you. I meditate upon Lord Shri Krishna because he is the absolute truth and the primeval cause of all causes of the creation, sustenance, and destruction of the manifested universes. He is directly and indirectly conscious of all manifestations, and he is independent because there is no other truth beyond him. It is he only who first imparted the Vedic knowledge unto the heart of Brahmaji, the original living being. By him, even the great sages and demigods are placed into illusion, just as one is bewildered by the illusory representation of waters in the fire or lands in the water. Only because of him do the material universes, temporarily manifested by the reaction of the three modes of nature, appear factual, although they are unreal. I therefore meditate upon him, Lord Shri Krishna, who is eternally existence in a transcendental abode, which is forever free from the illusory representations of the material world. I meditate upon him, for he is the absolute truth. So, let's go to the verse. Kala, Magada, Shalva, Adin, Anikaye, Rundataha, Puram, Ajiganat, Swayam, Divyam, Swapunsam, Tejaha, Adishat, Kala Magada Shalvadin, Kala Magada Shalvadim, Anikeirundata Puram, Anikairundata Puram, Ajiganat Swayam Divyam, Ajiganat Swayam Divyam, Swapung Samteja Adishat, Kalamagada Shalvadin, Anikairundata Puram, Ajiganat Swayam Divyam, Samteja Adishat. Anybody want to repeat? Kalamagada Shalvadin, Anikairundata Puram, Ajiganat Swayam Divyam, Sapun Samteja Adishat. Marajis. Kalamagada Salvadim, Anikairundata Puram, Ajiganat Swayam Divyam, Sapung Samteja Adisha, Kalamagada Salvadim, Anikairundata Puram, Ajiganat Swayam Divyam, Sapusamtija Adisha. Word for word translation. Kala, Kalayavana, Magadha, the king of Magadha, Jarasandha, Shalva, King Shalva, Adin, and others, Anikaye, by the soldiers, Rundataha, being encircled, Puram, the city of Mathura, Ajganat, killed, Swayam, personally, Divyam, transcendental, Swapunsam, of his own men, Tejaha, press, Adishat, exhibited. Translation by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. Kalayavana, the king of Magadha, and Shalva attacked the city of Mathura But when the city was encircled by their soldiers, the Lord refrained from killing them personally, just to show the power of his own men. Please kindly repeat. Kalayavana, the king of Magadha, and Shalva attacked the city of Mathura. But when the city was encircled by the soldiers, the Lord refrained from killing them personally, just to show the power of his own men. Thank you. Purport by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada. After the death of Kamsa, when Mathura was encircled by the soldiers of Kalayavana, Jarasandha, and Shalva, the Lord seemingly fled from the city, and thus he is known as Ranchor, or one who fled from fighting. Actually, the fact was that the Lord wanted to kill them through the agency of his own men, devotees like Muchukunda and Bhima. Kalayavana and the king of Magadha were killed by Muchukunda and Bhima respectively, who acted as agents of the Lord. By such acts, the Lord wanted to exhibit the prowess of his devotees, and if he were personally unable to fight, but his devotees could kill them. The relationship of the Lord with his devotees is a very happy one. Actually, the Lord descended at the request of Brahma in order to kill all the undesirables of the world. But he divided the share of glory. He sometimes engaged his devotees to take the credit. The battle of Kurukshetra was designed by the Lord himself, but just to give credit to his devotee Arjuna, Nimitta Matra Bhava Savishashin. He played the part of the charioteer, while Arjuna was given the chance to play the fighter and thus become the hero of the battle of Kurukshetra. What he wants to do himself by his transcendental plans, he executes through his confidential devotees. That is the way of the Lord's mercy towards his pure, unalloyed devotees. Jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So, translation again. Kalayavana, the king of Magadha and Shalva, attacked the city of Mathura. But when the city was encircled by their soldiers, the Lord refrained from killing them personally, just to show the power of his own men. So here we can see, yesterday we were trying to describe Krishna, because everything is about Krishna. He's the only subject, Krishna is the only object, Krishna is the cause, Krishna is the effect. So, we said yesterday, Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Swayam Bhagavan. In Vrindavan, is known as Gopavish, Venukara, Navakishore, and Natabara. Those are descriptions of Krishna in Vrindavan. So, this form of Krishna in Vrindavan, as a cowherd boy, dressed in a yellow dhoti, holding his flute, is always young in Vrindavan, never grows old. It never grows beyond 11, 12 years of age like that. That's Kishore Krishna. At that age, the old Krishna is the sum total of all beauties. The beauty of Krishna in that age, Kishore, is unfathomable, and it's just uncommon. And that's also that age he actually manifests his amorous pastimes with the gopis. The gopis, they kicked everything away, family members, everything. They become so attracted to Krishna. And at that age, Krishna is all attractive. Like we say, Kandapa Koti Kamaniya, Vishesha Shobham. The beauty of Krishna excels the beauty of crores of Kandarpas or Cupids. Krishna's beauty is extraordinary. You put in the material world, Cupid or Kamadev, we call love of God, right? It's a God of love or something like that. Yeah, in material world. He attracts everybody. Everybody agitated by the arrows made of flowers of Kamadev. Every living entity become agitated by lust. And we call love in this mature world. It looks like, but actually it's Kamadev. It's the work of Cupid. And every living entity becomes very, very agitated. And at that age, teenage, like Krishna Kishore, we can see in the mature world, when a child or whatever, a girl or a boy reaches that age, they sense to become very, very, very agitated. And also, they manifest really the full beauty of a growing person, teenager. That age, 15, 14, 16, like that, 17. That's practical, right? So that's because Krishna, the original personality of Godhead, and we are parts and parcel of Krishna. So, taking birth in this mature world, we also grow, That is all because Krishna is the original person. Of course, Krishna is no birth, no death, he's supreme personality of Godhead. But his pastimes, and also, even though Krishna takes birth or grow, it's not material. We don't deny Krishna's activity. We don't deny Krishna's birth. We don't deny Krishna's childhood. We can't deny because it's transcendental. It's a part of his, being absolute truth. But we ordinary living entities in the material world, we are imitating Krishna, We also want to accept parents. We want to accept to be born of parents. Also enjoy, childhood pastime, whatever, activities as a child. All these are imitations. But Krishna alone is a real person. His birth, his activities, like he said, Janma Karma Chama Divyam Evam Joveti Tatvata. All these Krishna's birth, Krishna's activities, Krishna's pastimes, everything is transcendental. And Krishna said one should understand in tattva, in truth. And then, after quitting this material body, he goes back to Krishna forever. Never return again. So, there's no return. And Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita. So, we should understand this material existence is but reflection, perverted reflection of the reality. We also trying to be Krishna. We're imitating Krishna in all respects. Like Krishna said, Ye yata mam prapadyanti tam tataiva bhajami aham. Mama was the last part. Anyway, from the Gita, Krishna says that according to one's surrender to him, whether materially or spiritually, Krishna rewards accordingly. Everybody follow Krishna in all respects. So we trying to imitate Krishna in this way. We come to this mature world. We try to play the role of Krishna. We're proud that we can create. We're proud that we can control. We're proud that, I have my family, I got my relatives, everything. you know, we also play this part of life, childhood, boyhood, adolescence, and so on, and old age, and also play the roles of I'm a parent. All these things, they are all imitations of Krishna. So Krishna is the absolute truth. In case of Krishna, these are real. So we describe in Krishna. Krishna is supreme, original personality of Godhead, the primeval of all causes. Like that prayer we sing in the beginning. I offer my respectful obeisance to Lord Krishna, son of Vasudeva, who is the primeval cause of all causes, of the creation, sustenance, and destruction of the entire material world, or all universes, and so on. So, this is the position of Krishna. Krishna is unique. Krishna is Paratattva, Advaya Jnana Tattva, means no dual, absolute truth, no dual substance. That's Krishna. Advaya Jnana Tattva Braje, Brajendra Kumar. So the absolute truth is son of Nanda Maharaj. Braje Brajendra Kumar. Brajendra Kumar is Krishna, who is son of Nanda Maharaj in Brajabhumi, and who is described as a cowboy boy holding his flute, Kishore Krishna, Navakishore, and Natabara. So now I explained about Krishna being Navakishore. He never grows old. His beauty always ever increasing. Krishna's beauty is not the same all the time. Every moment is ever increasing. It's amazing. But only his dear devotees, loving devotees, premier bhaktas, they can see that. And that's what Srimati Radharani sees. Krishna's beauty always increasing, Radharani's devotion always increasing in a parallel way, and none of them knows defeat. They always go on, transcend to competition, since time immemorial. And it will go on, no limit. And this is amazing. Something has no limit, but over increasing. You can never conceive of it. Right? You imagine something has no limit, but again, ever increasing. This is inconceivable. So Krishna, Navakishore is like that. So a devotee relishes this sweetness of Krishna according to his devotion, according to the degree of his devotion. And of all the devotees, obviously, Srimati Radharani is the best. Therefore, Krishna said, Asamadwa Madhurya Nainjani. Krishna says, this is recorded in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adilila chapter 4. Krishna says, Asamatwa Madhurya, Asamadwa Madhurya. Yeah, Asamadwa Madhurya Nainjani. Krishna says that my sweetness of mind, or my beauty, Krishna is known as Rasa Vaisaha, the reservoir of all mellows. He also the giver of a pleasure to the entire creation. Pleasure comes from Krishna. Therefore, Krishna is the reservoir of pleasure. Krishna is the reservoir of pleasure. We know this. He gives pleasure to the entire world. Therefore, Krishna declares that Asamatwa Madhurya Samyana Injani. Asamatwa Madhurya Samyana Injani. Asama outdoor means Krishna says that my beauty is unequal. There's no beauty equals to Krishna's beauty. In fact, the Krishna is the sum total of all beauty. one of the six opulence of Krishna is all beauty, all beautiful. So Krishna says himself, Asamatwa Madhurya Samya Nainjani, that my beauty is no comparison to it, no beauty equal to my beauty, and no beauty excels my beauty, superior to my beauty. So Asama Urdhva. Asama no equal, Urdhva no superior. Asama Madhurya is on sweetness, Samya Nainjani. You can't find that anywhere. Nothing equal to it. Krishna says this. But then Krishna said, I just said that this sweetness of Krishna is relished or tasted by a prima bhakta, the pure devotees or loving devotees of Krishna. And Srimati Radharani is the best. Therefore Krishna said, Ekole radhika aswade sokole. This beauty of Krishna that increases every moment is fully tested only ekole. Only ekole means only Srimati Radharani. Others they test according to their degree of devotion. But devotion Srimati Radharani is obviously cannot be compared. As Krishna's beauty cannot be compared, Srimati Radharani's eagerness to test that beauty also is uncommon eagerness. So there's competition between Krishna and Radharani in all respects. Sweetness of Krishna increasing, Radharani desire to relish that full nectar also increasing. Her devotion is always increasing. Jai Tulsi Maharani ki. This is amazing, right? And then this Krishna, Natabara, meaning that he's always engaged in various dances. Prabhupada says that many places. The Krishna is 24 hours in Vrindavan. He's always engaged. He has one business, to dance in the groves of Vrindavan with Radharani and their companions, associates, are the gopis. So these are descriptions of Krishna. Gopi Vesh, Kavri boy, dressed in yellow dhotis, Venukara holding flute, very sweet flute, and that flute, he plays it when it's Kishore, that attracts the gopis, attracts the entire universe. You can read in Krishna book, right? These stories are there. So this is very significant. This statue of Krishna, this description of Krishna is the essence of everything. That means Krishna's beauty, the way Krishna is described here, this form of Krishna is essence of Godhead. Or the Acharya, and he said in the Vaishnava language, they said, this is Bhagavatsar. Bhagavatsar, the essence of Godhead. In English we say essence of Godhead. Jai Shri Prabhupada. So everything actually we need, everything we aspire for is to see this beauty of Krishna. Right? It is said the soul, the nature of the soul is to enjoy pleasure. Ananda Moya Vyasat. Ananda Moya Vyasat. The soul is made of pleasure. The soul is naturally needs, pleasure. That's the nature of the soul. Because Krishna is Ananda Moya Vyasat, we are parts and parcel of Krishna. So where's that pleasure coming from? From Krishna. by seeing his beauty. Bhakti Thakur said in Kalyana Kalpataru, one verse that, Ekobar, if somebody once sees this beauty of Krishna, then that's the perfection of existence. Even once, Bhakti Thakur said, even once you see this form of Krishna in Vrindavan, the way we just described him. Because this is the essence of all beauties, the essence of all attraction. That's what we need. That's what we need. And seeing this wonderful beauty of Krishna, as we're describing, the gopis, they became very frustrated and they chastised Brahma. The Lord Brahma is fool. He doesn't know the art of creating. He doesn't know how to create. Why did he create people? He gave 2 eyes only. 2 eyes to see Krishna. 2 eyes only to see Krishna. But that's not sufficient. Again, there's eyelids. They're blinking. But we're supposed to see this beauty of Krishna, to drink the nectar of this beauty of Krishna without blinking the eyes. Like snake eyes. Always open. You know, it's the gopis, they blame Brahma. You know. Because this Krishna beauty is everything. And Krishna himself assumed different incarnations. Why? Because Krishna wants to enjoy more and more and more and more. More and more and more. Krishna has a greed. That's what we have a greed to. Krishna is the origin of everything. Am sarvasya prabhava mata sarvam parvartati. So everything we have, we inherited it from Krishna. So we have a greed to. And one achieves something, one becomes very successful in his field activities by having this sort of greed. Lobha. I want to achieve this. And that is motivation. And because of that, you have to put everything, all the resources, working hard in order to achieve it, right? So Krishna is the same. Krishna is greed. This greed originated from Krishna. So because of his greed, Krishna's greed, there are unlimited incarnations of Krishna coming. Because Krishna wants to experience, he wants to experience pleasure in every incarnation. For instance, the first incarnation of Krishna is Vishnu, Lord of Vaikuntha. That is, you know what is the incarnation? Lord Nishingadev. Shri Nishingadev Bhagavan ki jai. How, now, Lord Nishingadev, that pastimes of Lord Nishingadev, who is dear devotee, Shri Prahlad Maharaj, is very significant. Lord Nishingadev, he didn't have a parents. Do you know the parents of Lord Nishingadev? No. He didn't have a parents. Lord Nishingadev appeared, he came out of pillar. Pillar of the assembly house. So you can't really call that parent. It's no parent. He just came out there. In fact, he came out of there because when Hiranyakashipu was challenging Prahlad Maharaj, what is your Lord? What is your God? He's everywhere. He's here, he's there. He's in this pillar. Prahlad Maharaj said, yes. Just to keep up the prestige of his devotee, Lord Nishingadev, he can appear anywhere, and he appeared at stone pillar, whatever. The pillar of the assembly house. So, Now, in that pastime, what happened? Prahlad Maharaj, a great devotee, Premi Bhakta, very dear devotee of the Lord. Lord Nishingadev was very, very affectionate to him. And then he sat Prahlad Maharaj on his lap, like the father does, right? To a child. So, out of affection, Prahlad Maharaj was sitting there. At that time, something was taking place. You know, Krishna, his mind never stops thinking. He's always processing, he's thinking about something, continually. So everything he does has a meaning. So now, when Prahlad was sitting there on the laps of Bhagavan, Nishingadev, they both derive pleasure. Yeah? Prahlad Maharaj is getting pleasure. Just like a son is sitting on his lap of his father, he's getting pleasure. This Vatsala Prem. The child is getting pleasure. I'm sitting in my father's lap. See, when the child something playing, he needs affection, he comes running. I want to sit in the lap of my parents, my father, my mom. We see that all the time. That means his son needs affection. He comes there, and then the father grabs him. And the father also gets pleasure. My child is coming. It's so nice, So they both, father and son, or father and child, they derive pleasure. But according to you, which pleasure is greater? Who gets more pleasure of the two? Huh? Yes. So in other words, Prahlad Maharaj, pleasure is greater than Nishingadev. Nishingadev will get him pleasure too, but he knows the Supreme Lord is all-knowing. He knows that. So this is the conclusion in our philosophy. A devotee wants to give pleasure, all pleasure to Krishna, because Krishna is the only enjoyer. Aham Bhokta, Bharta is the Lord of the devotees. He's a supreme enjoyer. And the duty of the devotees is, the servant, is to give Krishna all enjoyment. So, now in the course of this process of giving pleasure to Supreme Lord gets pleasure, but the devotee enjoys more. That's when in spiritual platform, a devotee never even dreamed to become God. He doesn't want that. He doesn't want that. Devotee, that is in his position as devotee, he knows that he's enjoying much more by giving Krishna pleasure. And he doesn't solicit that pleasure. It's not that, I'm going to save Krishna so that I can get pleasure. No. It comes automatically. Example we give in this material where like a loving mother or loving parent. The parent don't say, let me go do this for my child so that I can get pleasure. No. The mother does a duty, it's said to do. Take care of the child, feed the child, everything. But naturally, the mother gets pleasure. She enjoys it. Same also like a beloved wife, very dedicated, chaste woman serving her husband. She doesn't expect her own pleasure, but by giving pleasure to her husband, naturally, you get it. It comes back to you. Even more, in a greater degree. So, now, Prahlad Maharaj, Nishingadev, they both relishing, respectively, that pastime. But Lord Nishingadev thought, Prahlad is enjoying much more than me. And how can I enjoy like that? You see? Krishna never lets go, He was trying to get the last thing. He wants it. Krishna wants everything. That's what he said, is Bhakti said, all Krishna's desires are fulfilled. Krishna wants to fulfill every desire. So Krishna, Lord Nrsimhadev, was thinking, I want to enjoy like that too. But I have no parents to sit on the lap, you know. I have no parent. My parent is stone pillar. So I can't sit there, right? So I can enjoy this pleasure of being a son sitting on the father's lap. And he started thinking. And Krishna always come up with a solution. So at that time, he developed greed of becoming a child, having parents. And then the next incarnation of the Lord, from there on, they all accept parents. They all accept parents, beginning from Lord Ramachandra. He became beloved son. You see? That's what Nrsimhadev wanted. He wanted to be beloved son. And Lord Ramachandra was absolutely a beloved son to Dashrath Maharaj. They love him so much. Not only the parents, everybody, because Krishna is super soul, you know, in everyone's heart. When somebody has love for Krishna, naturally, Krishna becomes everything for him. So, Lord Ramachandra, you know, how love, we can read, you know, I'm sure you know even better than me, you know, Ramayana and all that, and we heard so many times the description of love of Dashrath to Lord Ram. It's amazing. In fact, that King Dashrath died because of Lord Ram, you know, being banished. You know, he couldn't survive with their emotions, and he died. It's the last limit of love. So, all the incarnation of the Lord, beginning from Ramachandra and up and now, they all accept parents to relish that Vatsalya, you know. Vatsalya Bhav, yes, correct. Bhav or Rati. So like this. Right. So this is the greed of Lord Nrsimhadev. And then the greed of Ramachandra now. You know, Lord Ramachandra, in his pastimes, he was Eka Patnivrata. His ideal husband, one wife, no second wife at all. By all means, no way. Even those, we know the story of Dandakaranya sages, they became attracted to Lord Ramachandra. Suparnaka wanted to enjoy Lord Ramachandra. You know what Lord Ramachandra chopped out her nose? It was not because she was demons. No. Lord Ramachandra accepted her love, but because he couldn't enjoy a second wife besides Sita, he said, okay, let me make her ugly so that no other man will be after her. And she'll wait until when I come my next incarnation, I want to enjoy many wives. So that's the desire of Lord Ramachandra. And he came, and then Krishna came. And Krishna would debauchee, you know, so many wives, some that are wedded wife, some unwedded wife, parokia, sokia. He enjoys a kind of relationship with different women, unlimitedly. His desire. But now, you see, one incarnation generates one desire, so on and so on. And now we desire Krishna. So, Nrsimhadev, just to see what the reason I'm saying why Krishna is on different incarnations, some the Shaktavisha Avatara, Guna Avatars, Yuga Avatars, so on. But what I'm reciting those three avatars mainly, Nrsimhadev, Ram, and Krishna. They are known as, according to Laghu Bhagavad-amrita, they are known as Paravasta Avatara. They're the most opulent in all the forms of Krishna. They, well, not most opulence, but they possess the opulences of the Lord fully. That's the meaning of Paravasta Avatar, according to Laghu Bhagavatamrita. So, the greed of Nishingadev led to the greed of Ramachandra, and Ramachandra to Krishna. Now the greed of Krishna. What Krishna wanted. What's the greed of Krishna now? Because Krishna is Rashika Sekara. Huh? What does it mean? He's the best of enjoyers. And he's the best of enjoyer. And there's so many enjoyment, there's so many ratis are there. You have Dasarati, Sakyarati, Vatsalya, and so on. And then Madhurya Rati. The all ratis, different bhavas, right? Servitorship, friendship, parental, and conjugal. But out of this bhav, the conjugal bhav is the best out of all these bhavas. Therefore, Krishna is known as Sungar Rasa Raj. Sungar Rasa King, or Sungara Ras, who is the best. And this Sungara Rasas has two parts, again, divided into parts. Conjugal mellows, Sungara, yeah? Sungara means conjugal love, divided into parts. Do you know those two parts? One is Sukhiya, and the other is Parukhiya. Sukhiya means Krishna with wedded wives, the Maishis, the queens. They're properly wedded, official. But then there's a Parukhiya. Parukhiya only found in Vrindavan. The one verse says, let me get this. Jai Radhe, Jai Krishna. You know that song, right? Yeah? I'm going to read one translation of Jai Radhe, Jai Krishna. Jai Vrindavan, Sri Govinda Gopinatha. Okay, Jai Radhe Krishna. Okay. In this song, which is very famous, and everybody loves this song, it is said that Jayo Rasa, Jayo Rachu, Jayo Ujjal Rasa, Sarva Rasa, Sa. Parokiya Bhave, Yaha Brajete Prachar. It is said. So, as I said, to Sukhiya and Parukhiya. Sukhiya found in Mathura, in Dwarka, Krishna, Krishna is a proper husband. He's not a debauchee, he's a proper husband. He does perfect, he plays perfect role of a husband. And we know that in Krishna book, right? But in Vrindavan, it's just the opposite. In Vrindavan, there's no Sukhiya, it's Parukhiya Bhav. So this sloka I just read, of this song, it is said, Jayo Ujjalo Rasa, Sarva Rasa Sar, Parokhiya Bhave Ya Brajite Prachar, meaning that all glories to the mellow of conjugal love. You see? So this is as I said, this is the best of all the mellows, right? Because it's a glory. I said Santa, Dasya, Bastela, but this is glorified. The mellow of conjugal love, Sungar Ras, which is the most excellent of all rasas. Right? I said that before. And then, which is Krishna, which Krishna propagates in Vraja in the form of Parokhiya Bhav. Parokhiya Bhav. So, in Vrindavan, this Sungara is celebrated as Parokia Bhav, the best. This is Parokia Bhav means in English paramour love, paramour. You know paramour. That though you love somebody, but you love the best object of love called paramour. We see it in the material world often. So that's what it is. So now the desire of Krishna is the best of the enjoyer because he enjoy Sungaras. That's the best enjoyment. But then, now, during the pastimes of Krishna Vrindavan, he had developed the desire. Just like Loni Shingadev developed the desire to enjoy the position of Prahlad Maharaj. Right? So Krishna also, although he's the Rasika Sekara, as I said, the best of enjoyer, Rasaraj, Sungara Rasaraj, he developed the desire because he knows that Radhani enjoy more than me. Right? Krishna said on Chaitanya, and Chaitanya, although Krishna, I'm a source of pleasure of the entire world, but seeing the beauty of Srimati Radharani, Krishna is just completely subjugated by Srimati Radharani. That's maybe understood, right? That Radharani, Krishna gives pleasure to the entire world. But what's the source of pleasure of Krishna? Radharani. Krishna says this, Chaitanya Charitamrita. You should read Chaitanya Charitamrita, 4 chapters. Very nice. So, he said, I am the source of the pleasure for the entire creation. My sweetness, the aroma, everything comes from me. The enjoyment, the pleasure of the entire creation is from me. But Radhani is the source of my pleasure. They're always attracted to me, but I'm attracted to Srimati Radharani. That's why Radhani is not Krishna Nona, Madan Mohana Mohini. You know. So Krishna thinks like this. But now Krishna said, okay, in this way, my affection for Srimati Radharani may be understood. That Radharani is my giver of pleasure for me. But by analyzing this, something else is there which is very, very mysterious. Is that now, when we are, as Krishna says, when I associate with Srimati Radharani, each one of us enjoy his entitled pleasure. I enjoy my pleasure as the enjoyer. Krishna is known as Vishaya. He's the enjoyer, and Radharani is called Ashroya. Ashro Vigraha, 2 forms are there. Ashro Vigraha and Vishoya Vigraha. So Krishna is the Vishoya Vigraha, the enjoyer. Radharani Ashro Vigraha, the abode of love. So they're entitled to their pleasure, respective pleasure. Just like I said, the example of Nishingadev and Prahlad Maharaj. Loni Shingadev enjoys, Prahlad also enjoys, Father enjoys, Son enjoys, like this. So, but Krishna, he's thinking like, when we come together, our pastimes, I see that Radharani enjoys much more than me. 3 million times more than me. I can't figure it out. And the pleasure that Radharani gets by enjoying me, I can't really understand. Krishna is all-knowing, but Krishna's head reels when he starts thinking about this. He cannot comprehend it. It's just too much for him. Radharani gets so much pleasure just by seeing a golden tamal tree. Radharani is completely immersed into love. By hearing some good fragrance carried by the breeze, Srimati Radharani loses consciousness, thinking this is Krishna. So Krishna said, which kind of enjoyment Radharani is getting from me? He enjoys more than me. Again, Krishna said, I want to enjoy like that. I'm curious. So Krishna is a very, very curious fellow, you know. So everything we have is all from Krishna. He's the original of everything. Sarva Karana Karana. So, Krishna, this going on in his mind. He never tells anybody. He never tells anybody. Just he acknowledges the whole thing within his mind. And his mind, that desire, was boiling. How is that boiling? You know when you cook sweet rice, kheer, and it's almost cooked, and it becomes very thick, right? And in the fire, you do tuk, 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 tokotoki, like this. That desire is burning. It's there, in Krishna's heart. I cannot relish it. I cannot relish it. That mood of Shrimati Radharani, So the more details about it, but anyway, just to give you some hint. And that desire culminated in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's incarnation. And nothing more than that. That's the best. Avatar Sara, Gaur Avatar. No more desire after this. This is a completion, you can say. See how Krishna started, different incarnations, this and that. And those three main incarnations, they are Paravastavatarana. Then you have other incarnation, obviously they are plenary portions, part of plenary portion, Kala like this. But they also have different functions. They accept parents too, but they have the function because that someday Manvantara Avatara, Yuga Avatara, Shakti Avatara, Yuga Avatars, like this. But the main personality of God in three forms: Paravasa Avatara, Nishinga, Ram, and Krishna or Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Same. Krishna is known as Lila Avatar, or the Leelas. He's the source of the Leelas. And Lord Ram is known as Maria the Purushottama, and Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Prema Purushottama. And Lord Ram is Maria the Purushottama. Nobody can excel Lord Ram in following etiquette. Vedic Mariada is the best. When the Lord manifests plays some role, it plays to the full extent. Nobody can equal to that. So Lord Ram was nobody can be so I would say so fixed in the following Vedic etiquette that Lord Ram. No one. We know all the past time Lord Ram. It never deviates from any etiquette of it. And then Krishna Lila Avatar, nobody can manifest varieties of pastimes like Lord Krishna. And then Prema Purushottama, nobody can give Prema Bhat, Lord Chaitanya. So unique in every respect. So this is how Krishna. So in this purport, to conclude in this verse we read today, how Krishna always trying to give credit to his devotees. It's very significant. It is said that Krishna can execute his mission or everything he wants to do. He can do it, but he prefers to give credit to his devotees, because Krishna actually, when Krishna wants to act, he acts as a devotee. It's a secret. He's Krishna, but he acts as a devotee. The example is that say you have a Krishna and you're Balaram, right? They're same, right? Krishna and Balaram, they're same, Supreme Person of God. But when Krishna wants to act, or want to expand, or want to create, he does all this through Balaram. Balaram becomes the cause of, incarnation, action, spiritual master, devotee, the first, he had the bhakta. So Krishna, when he wants to act, he becomes devotee. This is secret. But here it is said he gives credit to the devotees. But who's the devotee? He himself acting as a devotee. You see? This is a confidential knowledge of Krishna. So therefore, one who is spiritually advanced, he honor, even worship a devotee more than Krishna. How? That's okay. If you read Mahaprabhu's Leela, Chaitanya Bhagavat, you find this many occasions are there. Krishna himself worships his devotees. He considers them better than himself. So here, in this verse, the purport is about Krishna giving credit to his devotee Muchukunda and Bhima. So, see the third bit there. Why is he giving credit? Because Krishna acts through the devotee himself. And the devotee is very dear to Krishna. And who are the devotees? See, Krishna is very dear to himself. Krishna is very dear to himself. That's the third one. Therefore, Mahaprabhu said, one shouldn't see difference between Krishna and his devotee. A true advanced spiritualist, he actually worships the devotee first, respect the devotee first. Because you can commit offense to Krishna, a devotee can. If you serve devotee nicely, that offense will be counteracted. For sure. Narottam Thakur said, Arish Tane Aparade, Tare Harinam. Tumas Tane Aparade, Nai Paritran. Narottam Thakur, my soul. This is all the Acharyas said. Oh Lord Hari, one may commit offense to you, but holy name can deliver him. And the holy name, who chant the holy name? Devotee. Yeah. So, but if one offends the devotee, then now one can deliver him. Nahi paritran. Nahi paritran. So this is the process. So a devotee is very dear to Krishna. And offense to Krishna may be counteracted, but offense to a devotee can never. Unless, and you see it in Mahaprabhu's pastimes. Such Mata, the mother of Supreme Lord himself. When Mahaprabhu manifests his opulences, start giving boons to all the devotees, boon of love of Godhead, because he came to give that, right? Prima Purushottam. But then he was giving to all the devotees there, his dead devotees. But then the devotees realized that he didn't mention about his mother, about such a matter. And then I think Srivas, the foremost devotee of the Lord Chaitanya, he said, but you giving to everybody. You didn't mention about such. And Lord Chaitanya became very grave. He said, no, she won't get it. I'm not giving to her. Everybody was shocked. They said, and then they wanted to know why. He said, because she has committed Vaishnava Aparad. The devotee, when they heard this, they fainted. They said, the mother of the universe, Mother Sachi, your mother, or the Supreme Lord, how can she be an offender? And even though she offends, she's the mother of the entire creation. Can mother be considered offensive to a child? No, in one sense, no. But, so, Advaita Acharya was not there at that time, that assembly. So, later on after that, they met Advaita Acharya, said, they told everything happened, and during that meeting, they said that Lord Chaitanya was giving everybody, love of God, but he said that Mother Sachi won't get it because she committed offense to you. And Advaita Acharya almost quit his body. He said he couldn't be here. He said, what are you saying? You want me to die now? How can such mother is mother of the universe, my mother? What offense? But actually, it was not. In one sense, it was not an offense. Just when the brother of Lord Chaitanya, Vishwarup, left home, took up sannyas because he was associating with Advaita Acharya, and then he was studying scriptures in the light of bhakti. So at that time, because Mahaprabhu didn't manifest himself as Supreme Lord, so they were all those great devotees. They were very, very sad because the whole world, people engrossed in materialistic life, they're not interested in bhakti. So Vishwarupa he said, I don't want to live in this world anymore. I want to go to the forest because all I look around, just materialistic people, they all engaged in, nobody interested in Krishna bhakti. So, and by hearing the scripture associating Advaita Acharya, who is not only devotee, but Supreme Lord himself too. Advaita Acharya is Krishna, is incarnation of the Lord, Bhakta Avatar. So, it's Vishnu. So he said, and then by hearing Shastra, that we said, Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Shastra Koi, Loba Matra Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Siddhi Hoi. By associating with the exalted devotees, you achieve perfection. Mahaprabhu said. So Vishwarupa, he was God himself too, because he's Balaram, Nityananda, but he's playing the role of devotee. So Advaita Acharya was superior to him. So by associating with Acharya, great Vaishnava, hearing Shastra from the lips of a sadhu, pure devotee, and then he decided to renounce this world. He got a determination to renounce this world, and he became. So just because of this, Vishnu was associating of that Advaita, and then finally he left home, and Marasachi and Jagannath Mishra didn't want that. We find it a lot. The parents, they don't want the children to take sannyas. It doesn't start now. It's from time immemorial. Even the parents of the Supreme Lord, they don't want to take sannyas. So when Vishnu took up sannyas, same like when Lord Ram was banished, Dasara died out of shock, And then something happened to Jagannath Mishra, the father of Lord Chaitanya. When Vishwarupa took up sannyas, he died shortly after that because he couldn't handle that separation. So this war, what happened between Advaita and Marasachi. So Marasachi, in her mind, she was thinking, my son left home because of Advaita Acharya. Because of his influence to my son. Therefore, my son left home. So it became, she developed some kind of grudge, but not very offensive way, but internally. But Mahaprabhu is Antaryami. He knows everything. He knew that. He considered that offense. Because Marasachi, internally, she was criticizing Advaita. He said, you call him Advaita, but he's not Advaita. He's Dvaita. He's heartless. He made my son leave home, everything. So this kind of critical mentality in her thought. So that's an offense Mahaprabhu considered. That's right. So that's why even Marasachi, the Mother of Supreme Person of Godhead, he couldn't, get love of Godhead. But then when Mahaprabhu said, okay, the solution is that if Marasachi take the dust of feet of Advaita Acharya, then that offense will be annihilated, and she will get love of God. And that happened by Krishna arrangement. When Advaita Acharya fainted, that's the only time that Marasachi could get it. That's because otherwise she wouldn't get it. Advaita won't say, take my dust. No. By the arrangement, divine arrangement of the Lord, Advaita Acharya, because in those days, all these great devotees, Advaita Acharya, Mahaprabhu himself, they're always fainting all the time. You hear them fainting, they're collapsing on the ground out of love of Godhead. It's hard to see that, right? We don't see. See Prabhu, falling in the ground out of love. It's not ordinary thing. But in those days, all this is ready. So Advaita Acharya, so out of love, he fainted, he collapsed. Then only that time, Marasachi said, okay, this opportunity. She got it dust from Advaita Acharya smeared over. And then Mahaprabhu said, now she can get it. So this is a teaching that offense to a Vaishnava is very, very dangerous. It doesn't matter. It is said when somebody is as powerful as Lord Shiva, who is the breast of a Vaishnava, but if he commits offense to the devotee of the Lord, pure devotee of Krishna, finish. No matter who you are. So this is, our relationship between Krishna and his devotees. So here in this verse, Prabhupada really glorifies that Krishna all gives credit to devotees. So this is why. In fact, Jiva Goswami has said, this last thing I want to mention, Jiva Goswami said that Krishna always following behind his dear devotees. Unnoticingly, Krishna is falling behind, walking behind his dear devotee. Why? He's seeking the opportunity to get the dust from his devotee. Yeah. Because devotee won't give, never. You know the story of when Krishna was sick and then he asked for the dust for the devotees. Now they went to Dwarka, so so many queens are there, the great devotees. So easily I'll get dust there. But when he was shocked, they didn't want to give. He said, how can we give dust to our master? He's our nata. He's our lord. What are you talking, Nadamuni? Have you become mad? You want us to give dust, our feet to our master? Should be the other way around. So his mission fell. But when he went to the gopis, they didn't care. So the Krishna, the dust of the feet of the devotee is very dear to Krishna. Krishna, he can't get it. Not easy for him to get it. So he's unnoticingly following to wait for the opportunity to get it. See, that's what I'm saying. The person Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Advaita Acharya took the dust of the feet of, Lord Chaitanya took the dust of the feet of Lord Nityananda, Advaita, only when he fainted. You know, Mother Sachi also is something. So ordinarily they won't give you. They won't give you. So, but the gopis, they're in different, they're in different category. they belong to their own category. So anyway, Jiva Goswami said, because Krishna says, by getting the dust from the feet of my devotees, I will purify my entire creation. When I can only purify my entire creation with the dust of the feet of my devotee. That's what Jiva Goswami says. So the devotee is very dear. So here we said, it's simple. Prabhupada said that Krishna wants to give credit to his devotee, but the deep understanding about it. Yeah. Thank you so much. Sorry, that's. I just spoke whatever by the mercy of Guru and Goranga, whatever I could remember, and I managed to add in this verse. Grant Rashma Bhagavatam Ki Jai. Any comment? Yes. Yeah. Yeah. These are very confidential. It's by grace of Guru and Goranga that we can hear those things. Yeah, common people, most people don't know, but it's Krishna's mercy. Yeah. Please forgive me if I say something offensive or wrong. I'm an ignorant fool, but I just trying to serve. I don't to be a speaker or I have no knowledge. I'm doing this to serve you. So if you heard something pleasing, please bless me. That's my reward. Bless me with love of Krishna. That's what we need. I was saying that because beauty of Krishna is everything. And that beauty can only be experienced through love. That's what Chaitanya, Brahma Samhita said, Premanjana Churita Bhakti Vilochanena. Santa Sadeva Rudeshu Vilokayanti Jam Syama Sundaram Achincham Guru Swarupam. How to see Syama Sundar is inconceivable gunas, forms, is the form. Only one is God, Prema. So Prema is eyes to see that beauty. The prima, beloved Godhead, is like light, like eyes to see. Eyes. And the eagerness, bhakti, is like light. So both are required. If you have eyes, no light, can you see? No. Your eyes very good. You have a good eyesight, but in the darkness you cannot see. Now, if the light is there, you have eyes. If you don't have eyes, you're blind. Can you see? Both are required. So prema and eagerness or bhakti. Jai, Haribo. Shila Prabhupada Guru Puja. Thank you very much for this.
Yeah. It is a long day.
Last 2 days.
Yes. No, it is difficult situation. Yeah, I've been completely fixing it whenever I get a chance.
You might as well play.
I'll just, yeah.
You need that?
Yeah. It's good. Yeah. Shri Guru Charana Padma Kevala Bhakati Sadma Shri Guru Bando Mui Savadhana Mate Bando Mui Savadhana Mate Jahara prasade bhaye e bhava turiya jaye Krishna prapti hoy jaha aite Guru Mukha Padma Vakya Chitete Kuriya Aikya Arna Kori Ho Mone Asa Shri Guru Charane Rati Aise Uttama Gati Shri Guru Charane प्रसादे पूरे सर्व आशा चक्षुदान दिलो जय जन्मे जन्मे प्रभु से दिव्य ज्ञान हृदय प्रकाशितो प्रेम भक्ति जाह होइते अविद्या विनाश जाते भक्ति जाहा होइते अविद्या विनाश जाते वेदे गाय जाहर चरितो वेदे गाय जाहर चरितो करुणा सिंधु अधम जनर बंधु श्री गुरु करुणा सिंधु अधम जनर बंधु लोकना लोकेर जीवाना प्रभु कोरो दया दे मोरे पाद छया प्रभु कोरो दया दे मोरे पाद छया प्रभु कोरो दया देह मोरे पाद प्रभु पाद तीत पावन प्रभु पाद इलो शरण जय प्रभु पदा जय प्रभु पदा जय प्रभु पदा जय प्रभु पदा जय गुरुदेवा जय गुरुदेवा जय गुरुदेवा जय गुरुदेवा नामो विष्णु पदाय कृष्ण प्रस्थाय श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांता स्वामी नामिने रामा विष्णु पदाय कृष्ण प्रस्थाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांता स्वामी सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shiva Shadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Jai Shri
Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shiva Shadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare 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 Rama
Rama
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare Rama,
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare
Hare Krishna,
Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari जय विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्रजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तरी श्रीमती ऐसी भक्ति वेदांत शिला प्रभुपाद की
जय।
जय विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिवर्जकाचार्य अष्टोत्तरी श्रीमद भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोसाई महाराज शिला प्रभुपाद की
जय।
नामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधार शिवाशादि गौर भक्त वृंद की श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की वृंदावन धाम की जय, मायापुर धाम की जय, अयोध्या मथुरा धाम की जय, जगन्नाथपुर क्षेत्र धाम की, गंगा माई यमुना माई की जय, भक्ति देवी तुलसी महारानी की जय, बृहत मदंगा की जय, समवेत भक्त वृंद की जय. All glories to the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada ki. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutala Srimata Bhakti Vedanta Swami Te Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharne. Nirvisesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Deshaptarane. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki.
Jai. The lotus feet of our spiritual master are the only way by which we can attain the pure devotion service. I bow down to the lotus feet with great awe and reverence. By His grace, one can cross the ocean of material suffering and return the mercy of Krishna. My only wish is to have my consciousness purified by the words emanating from the lotus mouth. Attachment to the lotus feet is the perfection that fulfills all the desires. He opens my dark eyes and fills my heart with transcendental knowledge. He is my Lord, birth after birth. From Him ecstatic prem emanates, by Him ignorance is destroyed. The Vedic scriptures sing of His character. Our spiritual master of the ocean of the mercy, friend of the poor, Lord and Master of the devotees. O Master, be merciful unto us. Give us the shade of your lotus feet. Your fame spread all over three worlds. We take shelter at your lotus feet. Padit Pavana Srila Prabhupada Ji Maharaj Ki Jai.